Philip Jack Brooks was born in Chicago on October 26, 1978. The son of a housewife and an engineer, he grew up in nearby Lockport, Illinois, where he attended Lockport Township High School. He has 5 siblings. His father struggled with alcoholism, which inspired Brooks to follow a straight-edge lifestyle from an early age. His mother had bipolar disorder, causing him to become estranged from her. He cites Rowdy Roddy Piper, Stone Cold, Bret Hart as an early influence and the reason he became a wrestler. Brooks' first venture into wrestling was a stint in a backyard wrestling federation called the Lunatic Wrestling Federation, with his brother Mike and their friends in the mid-late 1990s. He had his debut match on October 25, 1997, on the eve of his 19th birthday. He first started using the ring name CM Punk when he was put into a tag team named the Chick Magnets with CM Venom. Unlike his friends, Punk genuinely wanted to be a wrestler and saw it as more than simple fun. When the promotion started taking off, while doing shows out of a warehouse in Mackinac, Illinois, Punk found out that his brother had embezzled thousands of dollars from the small company, causing them to become estranged. They have not spoken since. In a Chicago Tribune interview, Punk said,
"I have 2 sisters and a brother by blood. I talk to my sisters, but haven't talked to my brother in like 10 years. The only thing my brother ever did to me was steal a load of money from me."
Punk soon left the Lunatic Wrestling Federation and enrolled as a student at the Steel Dominion Wrestling School in Chicago, where he was trained by Ace Steel, Danny Dominion, and Kevin Quinn to become a professional wrestler. As part of the training, he began wrestling at Steel Domain Wrestling in St. Paul, Minnesota in 1999. It was in the Steel Domain that he met Scott Colton, who soon adopted the ring name Colt Cabana. Punk and Cabana became best friends and spent most of their early career together working in the same independent promotions as both opponents and tag team partners. In the independents, along with fellow Steel Domain graduates Colt Cabana, Chuck E. Smooth, Adam Pearce, and manager Dave Prozik, Punk formed an alliance named the Gold Bond Mafia. From 1997 to 2005, Punk was part of 3 wrestling companies. He was part of the IWA, NWA, and Ring of Honor. IWA 1997 to 2005. During Punk's time in IWA Mid-South, he had high-profile feuds with Colt Cabana and Chris Hero, while also rising to the top of the roster, winning the IWA Mid-South Light Heavyweight Championship twice, and the IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship on 5 separate occasions, beating wrestlers like AJ Styles, Cabana, and Eddie Guerrero in matches for the Heavyweight Championship. From July 2003 until May 2004, Punk refused to wrestle for IWA Mid-South, explaining this as a protest to Ian Rotten's mistreatment of Chris Hero in the company. NWA 2002 to 2004, Punk made his debut for NWA with his trainer Ace Steel on September 18, 2002, where Punk and Steel defeated Derek Wild and Jimmy Rave and the Hot Shots Cassidy O'Reilly and Chase Stevens in a 3-way match to qualify for the tag team gauntlet for the gold later in the night, with the winning team facing America's Most Wanted Chris Harris and James Storm in a match for the vacant NWA World Tag Team Championship. He returned to TNA initially alone on January 11, 2003, where he defeated Colt Cabana before participating on May 21st in a 4-way elimination match to determine the challenger for the TNA X Division Championship, won by Paul London. During 2003, he will team up with Mickie James, with whom he will have very good chemistry in the ring. Both had the goal of getting to the top of the mountain. Shortly before a NWA show on February 25, 2004, Punk had a physical scuffle with Teddy Hart outside of a restaurant that was broken up by Sabu. The altercation reportedly stemmed from an show, in which Hart performed 3 unplanned spots, putting several other wrestlers in danger of injury. Punk officially quit TNA in March 2004 during the Rob Feinstein controversy after having a dispute with the TNA offices over his ability to compete in Raw following a TNA order that their contracted wrestlers were to no longer wrestle in Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor 2002 to 2006, CM Punk made his ROH in-ring debut at the All-Star Extravaganza on November 9, 2002, in a gauntlet match involving 5 participants, won by Bryan Danielson. Initially, Punk joined Raw as a face, trading wins with Cabana at Night of the Butcher and Final Battle, but quickly turned heel in a feud with Raven that featured several variations of a no disqualification match. Their rivalry was rooted in Punk's straight-laced lifestyle, which compared Raven to his alcoholic father. At Night of Champions, Punk and his manager Ace steel-faced Raven and Cabana in a tag team match, during which Cabana turned on Raven, allowing Punk and Steel to win the match. Consequently, Punk, Steel, and Cabana formed a trio called the Second City Saints. The rivalry between Punk and Raven lasted for most of 2003 and was considered one of the biggest feuds of the year in Raw. This was settled at the conclusion in November 2003, where Punk defeated Raven in a steel cage match. After concluding the rivalry with Raven, Second City Saints turned faces by feuding with the Prophecy Christopher Daniels, BJ Whitmer, and Dan Maff, suspecting them of attacking Punk's on-screen girlfriend Lucifer. Whitmer was revealed to be the assailant, which led to Saints facing Prophecy in a 6-man tag team match at the Battle Lines Are Drawn, which ended in a no contest. Around this time, Punk began climbing the ranks of Raw, including coming in second at the 2nd anniversary show during the tournament to crown the first Raw Pure Champion, losing to AJ Styles in the finals at Reborn. Stage 2. Punk and Cabana defeated the Briscoe brothers to win their first Raw Tag Team Championship. In the summer of 2004, Punk faced off against Raw World Champion Samoa Joe for the championship in a 3-match series on June 12th at World Title Classic. The first match resulted in a 60-minute time limit draw, when neither Punk nor Joe could pin or cause the other to submit within the allotted 60 minutes. On October 16th at Joe vs. Punk 2, they wrestled to a second 60-minute draw. In addition to Joe vs. Punk 2, becoming Ring of Honor's best-selling DVD at the time, the match received a 5-star rating by famed wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Joe ended the series by defeating Punk in the 3rd and final match on December 4th at All-Star Extravaganza 2, in which there was a no time limit stipulation. After a tryout match on May 9, 2005, which aired May 15th, where he lost to Val Venis on the Sunday Night Heat show, Punk accepted a deal offered by World Wrestling Entertainment WWE in June. Though he had accepted the deal, Punk defeated Austin Aries to win the Raw World Championship on June 18th at Death Before Dishonor 3, despite entering the match as a face. Immediately after winning the match and the title, Punk proceeded to turn heel and started a storyline where he threatened to take the Raw World Championship to WWE with him. For weeks, Punk teased the Raw locker room and the Raw fans, mocking the championship he possessed, going so far as to sign his WWE contract on top of it. During the storyline, referred to by Raw as the Summer of Punk, Mick Foley made several Raw appearances during this time, attempting to convince Punk to do the right thing and defend the title on his way out. On August 12th, Punk lost the Raw World Championship to James Gibson in a 4-corner elimination match, which also involved Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels. Punk's final scheduled match in Raw took place at Punk, the final chapter on August 13, 2005, against longtime friend Colt Cabana in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which he lost. Ohio Valley Wrestling 2005-2006. He stood alongside his mentor at the time, Paul Heyman. His time in OVW was very short due to his injury. The notable moments were the victory for the heavyweight title and the tag team championship. ECW 2006-2008. He officially made his television debut on the July 1st episode of ECW, cutting a brief pre-taped promo about his straight-edge lifestyle, emphasizing the disciplinary aspects of being drug and alcohol-free. Punk made his television wrestling debut on August 1st at the Hammerstein Ballroom, defeating Justin Credible. Punk quickly established himself in ECW by going undefeated, defeating opponents such as C.W. Anderson, Stevie Richards, and Shannon Moore. Soon after, Punk began feuding with Mike Knox after Knox's on-screen girlfriend Kelly Kelly was seen to have romantic feelings for Punk. Punk defeated Knox in their first singles match on the November 7th episode of ECW A-Letters, well as a rematch the following week, after which Kelly Kelly celebrated Punk's victory over Knox. At Survivor Series, Punk had his first pay-per-view match when he teamed with D-Generation X and the Hardy Boys in their Survivor Series match against Rated RKO, Knox, Johnny Nitro, and Gregory Helms. A match in which all the participants on DX's side survived elimination. On December 3rd at December to Dismember, Punk participated in the Extreme Elimination Chamber match for the ECW World Championship, but he was the first person eliminated by Rob Van Dam. He participated in the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 23, where he lost. On the April 10th episode of ECW, Punk was involved in the feud between the New Breed, a group of young wrestlers, and the ECW Originals, a group of veteran wrestlers from the original ECW. 2 weeks later, Punk betrayed the New Breed during a 4-on-4 tag team match between the New Breed and ECW Originals by kicking New Breed leader Elijah Burke in the back of the head and costing them the match. On May 20th at Judgment Day, Punk defeated Burke in his first singles match on a WWE pay-per-view event. Punk then went on to One Night Stand on June 3rd, teaming up with Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman in a tables match to defeat the New Breed and end the storyline. When ECW World Champion Bobby Lashley was drafted to Raw and stripped of the championship, a tournament to declare a new champion was held, 71 on June 24th. Punk was scheduled to face CB in the finals at Vengeance, Night of Champions, but CB was replaced by Johnny Nitro due to the absence of Benoit. Because of his absence at his show and knows the whole sad reason, Nitro subsequently defeated Punk for the vacant ECW World Championship. On the September 4th episode of ECW, Punk defeated Morrison in a last chance title match to win the ECW Championship. Punk lost the ECW Championship to Chavo Guerrero Jr. in a no disqualification match after Edge speared him, ending his reign at 143 days. This is already the end of this first episode on the career of CM Punk. I hope you liked the video. Don't hesitate to subscribe and like it, and we'll see you for episode 2 soon.